Hi everyone, it's Terry here in Danu's Irish Herb Garden, and it's a lovely mild spring day, so I thought I'd sow some seeds. I've already got a few started, and I'm here in the greenhouse which we built, well, Lol built it about 12 years ago, and it's basically just a few windows on the side of a shed with a corrugated roof. And the windows were cast off and thrown out. Lol put it all together, and it's been fantastic, a really fantastic amenity for 12 years. We've been growing all our seeds, starting all our seeds off in here and growing baby plants. And it's now, it needs to be redone a little bit. There's a few bits of wood that have decayed, and there's a window that needs to go in here. We've got a few things. These are fascias from some house that was being knocked down, and they're going to make shingles when we re-cover the greenhouse outside. So that's why it looks a bit of a mess. It needs a proper clean and tidy actually, but I'm jumping into the seed sowing before I do the tidying up. But never mind. And what I'm doing here is I've been saving toilet rolls because some of my seed trays have missed their little plug things. So the toilet rolls are a brilliant alternative. And you're also adding a bit of carbon into the soil then. And certain worms love the cardboard. So I put these in here. And then when I fill them up with compost and the seeds germinate and they're ready to be planted on or to be planted out, you can just literally pop this into another pot or pop it outside, and the cardboard will rot down and the plant's roots are not disturbed. So it's great for plants that have a long taproot and they don't like to be transplanted too often or disturbed too much. So I've got my little seed apron on that I made, and I've got a big handful of seeds here. I've got some vegetables and some herbs, and I'm going to sow all of these today. And I'm going to get started now, and I just thought I'd just have a chat with you while I sow the seeds. So I'm going to go with this tray first. Until I started gardening, I never gave a second thought to where my food came from. You just went to the supermarket and you picked it up, and you know, that was great. But once you start sowing seeds, you really begin to make that connection as to where your food is coming from. And I did a couple of other videos about seed saving, and I did point out that there are some corporations out there that don't want us to have seeds. They want to be able to control our food supply. So I thought today I'd be much more positive and optimistic, and I'd just tell you a few other things about seeds, how they make me feel, and the fact that there are dozens of thousands of groups of people all around the world who are turning to organic growing, they're turning to permaculture. And, you know, it's not as bad as we think it is when we get into panic mode. There's lots of great work being done all over. Apparently, permaculture courses are just selling out because so many people are signing up to do them. So when I think about seeds, I really feel, I feel lots of things. I feel that I'm connected to life itself. I feel like I'm in charge of my own destiny because I'm in charge of some of my food supply. I think to myself, this is what humankind have been doing for millennia, so there's that connection with ancestors and with people of the past. And it's a privilege as well because, you know, I never understood years ago why you went to a nursery to buy young plants, because, you know, you put your children into a nursery. But when you start growing your own plants, they are your babies, and you really nurse them and love them and encourage them to thrive. So I can absolutely get it now why we go to plant nurseries for our little plants. So I feel a privilege to work with the seeds, and I feel a responsibility, because every little seed that I come into contact with here when I'm planning my garden, every little seed is a potential life form. And so it's really up to me to help it to come into being. So I do nurse my little plants, and I do look after them, and I do encourage them to grow. So it's a really lovely process, it's a lovely pastime, and it's a very important thing to do as well, if you want to ensure that you know where your food is coming from. So what I'm sowing here are chili peppers, and I have a little hot box behind me for things that need a bit of help for germinating. And anything like tomatoes, cucumbers, anything that needs a bit of heat to start them off, they go in there, and once they've germinated, as you can see the tomatoes there, I bring them out and they just work away themselves then. So these peppers will be going in there. You know, everything on earth that's alive started from a seed. I mean, an egg is a seed. So that's why they're precious in a spiritual way as well, because I suppose the spirit of life is moving through the seeds, and that's why I feel so protective towards them. I just have to label these now, but it's so important to label something, because I know from experience with herbal tinctures and things that if you don't, you just don't remember. So always label. Now this is going to go into the hot box because it's a chili pepper. I'm going to take out the pak choi because that's germinated and is ready to be repotted, and I'll just pop in the chili peppers. Got some cucumbers have come up there, I'll bring those out, and I'm waiting for peppers here, but they do take some time to germinate, so they'll be another week or so. Now you might be wondering why there's a mirror here. It's very handy for adjusting my hat, but it's mainly there because it catches the light and makes the place much brighter and lighter, which all obviously goes to help germination. So I'm going to carry on with my seed sowing, and when I sow the seeds, I try to stay in a kind of meditative state. It just happens, actually. Anyone will become meditative when they're working with seeds. And I just imagine beautiful, healthy crops. I give them a little talking to tell them, you know, come on, grow, thrive, be brilliant. So I wish you all the best with your seed sowing, and I just ask you maybe have a look at the website and some of the courses and things that I'm offering, and see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.